The guy at the front was like, "Oh, where are you from?" And we said California. He was like, "The only other place in the world that has redwood trees." And I was like, "What?" And he was like, "Redwood National Park?"
He was so disappointed in us because we didn't know what redwoods were.
He was like,
"How do you not know?"
What's up, guys? Welcome to another episode of our carcast.
Yo, welcome back. Today we are on a road trip. Spring break?
Spring break? It's Thanksgiving.
Yeah, it's Thanksgiving.
It is Thanksgiving. Barry's confused about his timelines. We are in Redwood National Park.
Yep. And
have you heard of it? Probably not.
Yeah, Northern California. This is our first time taking out the Kiji. Yeah. Taking out Kiji to a very long road trip. It's going to be like 2,000 miles, over 25 hours. It's quite a trip. So we are in the halfway point now. We're at our destination.
What have we done? How many miles so far? We've done 860 miles so far.
Yeah.
And it's been quite an adventure. I would say the most memorable part was trying to find food to eat while being in the middle of nowhere on Thanksgiving Day.
Yeah, we got some serious LE yesterday.
Yes. Our plan was to go to this grocery store called Safeway and just grab some foods there. We saw it. We saw people inside of it. We get there, it closed 11 minutes ago.
Yeah.
I was like, oh no. And now we're just all driving around this very small town, just trying to find some food. And the only thing that was opened was Jack in the Box.
Yeah, on Thanksgiving Day, there was nothing open in this random small town.
Yeah. And it's not like I would expect things to be open. I know in general things are now open Thanksgiving. I just thought we would get lucky with a grocery store, that's all. I prepared for the possibility. So that was fun. And we also were driving off-road and kind of similar to this road, but more intense. And yesterday, there was a huge stream. Just a water stream and a ditch almost into a stream that we drove Kiji through. Yeah,
it was pretty wild. Well, we're making a road trip video separate from this carcast. We'll get to see the footage of the actual car going through some water. It's pretty crazy.
Yeah, but Kiji can handle it.
Yeah, Kiji's quite impressive, not gonna lie.
Yeah, I'm pretty impressed. Even though there was another girl there who was like, wait, can I film you guys going through the stream right now? She was like, I don't think you're gonna make it.
Yeah, you don't need a fancy truck to do some off-roading.
Yeah, you just...
Good old Tesla can do the job.
Need a Tesla and be careful on the potholes.
Yeah. Would you say you would rather be doing a road trip in a different vehicle, or has the Tesla been okay so far?
It has been pretty good. It's been pretty good. I think a lot of people are worried about that, with Teslas. I know every single person I told that was going on a road trip, they're like, what are you going to do about charging?
Yeah.
But, we've only stopped to charge 4 times now. This is day 3. And most of the time it works out. We have to stop anyway for, the restroom, or we,
yeah, eating.
Dinner.
We look forward to stops.
Yeah.
Plus, you don't have to think about, gas stations.
Yeah.
The trip planner on the Tesla screen basically just figures out where you need to stop, and it's it's nice and easy.
Yeah.
And overall, I would say it's been more enjoyable because especially autopilot is a game changer where while you're driving, you don't really need to drive because as long as there's lane marks,
Tesla owners say.
Basically the whole time when you're on a road trip, you're going to be on a highway for the most of the long drives, and those parts you don't really need to drive.
Fact. So yeah, it's really not that bad at all. So if that's something you're worried about, I would say don't worry. Who wants to drive for 6 hours straight anyway? Yeah. Do you? I don't. Oh, an obstacle.
Oh yeah, so
an obstacle.
One of the highlights of Redwood is this special hike where you need a permit for. So that is I'll let Sana explain while I go take care of this gate.
Okay.
Secret gate that you need a special password for.
We're changing up. Basically, this gate is just there because you need a permit to be in this trail. So I'm gonna watch Barry do his thing. We're gonna jam out, I think. I think it is easy. We're back in action, folks.
Well, you gotta pass the gate and lock it up. The instructions are you gotta close up the gate.
Yes, it's very clear instructions. When you get this permit, you get the code, and you must follow the laws of the national park, meaning you need to close the gate again. Let's jam out again. Also, if you want a life-changing road trip tip, just bring breakfast with you. Saves so much time. We just have a bunch of bagels from Trader Joe's, a cooler with cream cheese. We've been chilling. Breakfast is easy. Except coffee. Coffee's hard to find. This coffee was burnt. But besides that...
Guys, Sanaa has a coffee addiction. I know we've talked about this before, but...
Yeah, come with new material.
It is, it's become very clear that coffee is equivalent to a drug. Really.
Honestly, I think that coffee is more about how I have this nice, steady constant in my life, which is coffee. Every morning I start with a coffee. It's very fulfilling, and I think Barry's just a little bit of a hater.
Yeah.
But yeah, so when we went last night to Jack in the Box, I feel like I had a realization where that type of fast food was so amazing as a kid.
I mean, yeah,
so
it was.
Good as a kid.
It's interesting because like I think part of the reason why fast food now doesn't taste good is a couple of reasons. One, I feel like our taste buds probably change as an adult, where it just gets more refined and like fast food just no longer smacks the way it used to. But also the consciousness of what's in fast food meat really kind of screws up your brain. Yeah. So like as a kid, you're kind of innocent. You're just like eating blindly and it tastes good. But now it's like I'm seeing the documentaries. I see all like, you know, we
you're
hear,
like aware.
Yeah, you hear how like the meat,
it.
like how bad like the animals are killed, and it becomes a little bit hard to enjoy. There's a lookout here. Let's check out this lookout.
Ooh, yeah.
Why not?
Please not hit any people.
Wasn't even close.
You never know with Barry, you know, am I right?
Wow. All right.
Let's check it out.
Momentary pause while we check this out.
Trees. All right. We have resumed.
Yeah.
If you're curious about the overlook, I'm not sure if it's visible. It's just a bunch of trees.
Yeah.
Like a bunch of trees in distance. And there was a stream.
It's pretty. You got to see a nice distance.
It was very pretty.
A lot of trees.
Very green.
We're back on the road now.
Now we're back on the road.
I believe we were talking about fast food. So,
yes.
Yeah, I mean, fast food just doesn't hit anymore. I don't see a lot of adults really craving fast food as much as we did when we were younger.
Definitely not. And like, I feel like it just tasted differently. Like I was thinking about how Barry ordered this chocolate cake from Jack in the Box, which is apparently supposed to be their best dessert, and it reminded me so much of like those like boxed brownies that we used to eat as kids. And I'm like, those used to like, oof. Those were so good as a kid.
I wanted to make sure. I wanted to see if it was worth it.
Yeah.
So what I did is I Googled best desserts at Jack in the Box. Yes. And there was this article. There was an article that ranked the top 10 desserts that they had. And it went through all their desserts. It went through like their cheesecake, their shakes.
Yes.
And at number one was their chocolate cake. So I said, all right, if it's at number one, it's got to be good.
And it's got to be really good. Like, I'm confused.
But it wasn't that good.
Yeah.
It's like a 6 out of 10.
Yeah. So yeah, I think our taste buds have just developed differently. I think the one fast food that always still smacks though is Chick-fil-A.
Yeah,
Chick-fil-A has always been tasting good. I think it's because it's like fresh chicken. And like when I think of fast food chicken, I normally think of like the processed ground chicken, you know?
And I think it's a lot of it again is down to the psychology of it all, of how we're conscious of like what we're eating. Like if there comes out a documentary or something where like Chick-fil-A is just like everything else, where
would you watch it? Like, did you actually watch these documentaries about fast food?
I definitely watched at least one of them.
I don't think you watched them.
I've definitely watched at least one of them.
Okay.
And if it comes out where Chick-fil-A is like just as gunky as everything else, it's gonna be hard to enjoy that stuff. I don't know. It's all about the psychology.
I mean, it's like fresh chicken though. I mean, there's already a lot of scandal around Chick-fil-A, I guess. But yeah, so that was a little bit of a sad Thanksgiving dinner, but still happy that we found food. Because I actually thought we were just going to eat like peanuts and like a bagel for dinner.
Yeah.
But very happy to find the dinner.
Yeah, alhamdulillah, we had something.
And after this trip, we also have the plan of going to Pinnacles National Park. We would have checked off every national park in California except 2. Yeah. So I'm very excited for that. There's the Volcano one. And then there's Yosemite that I haven't been to, but Barry's been to. Yeah. So we're almost there, checking off all, I think it's 9 national parks in California?
Yeah, in California it was quite a bit.
9, 10,
we're
something
on a
like
mission.
that.
We're on a mission.
We're almost there.
All right, so let's talk about love languages. Love languages are an interesting thing, and they've becoming like a trending topic lately because there's like, I don't know, 5 love languages. Let's go through them really quick.
Yeah, so gifts.
Mm-hmm.
Acts of services.
Acts of services.
Touch, physical touch, quality time.
And then words of affirmation.
Oh, words of affirmation.
So basically, these are the languages that you both like give and receive, like how you like show affection.
Yeah, and how you like to receive love. Yeah, your love language.
And it's really interesting because they're really like telling about the kind of person you are.
They're so unbelievably accurate.
Like some people like really like gifts, and some people like gifts don't really mean anything to them at all. So like if there's a disconnect between two people where like someone expresses their affection, whether friendship or like a significant other, like through gifts, if the other person doesn't really receive it well, then there's like a little bit of a disconnect.
Yeah, there is.
So what are your love languages?
Mine are acts of services and quality time.
Yeah.
What are yours?
I think I'd have to agree. Probably both of those two.
What are you talking about? How is that your love language? Physical touch?
I don't know if physical touch is.
Yes, it is. You took the test.
No, I took the test. It was physical. No, it was.
It's physical touch.
I think it was acts of services and quality time. Pretty sure.
No, you had physical touch. I remember this.
You're sure?
Yeah, we just talked about this yesterday. Oh no, this morning we just talked about how physical touch is your thing.
You think physical touch is my thing, but it's not. Just because I like head rubs.
Yeah, this guy likes head rubs and massages and everything.
I think it's because this. I think here's how I rationalize it. I consider those acts of service.
Interesting. Okay. That's physical touch.
Perhaps. Yeah. Do you think two people could get along well if their love languages aren't synchronized with each other?
I think they could. Like, I think because then it's about compromise at that point. Mm-hmm. Like, if one person prefers gifts as their love language and the other person prefers quality time, then, like, you can easily compromise. Just give the other person a gift and then spend time with the other person. Like, I think I think all of them, although they're different, I think can all be done by a person who actually loves someone.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think it's more like you have two love languages and nothing of the other stuff. Like, I think everyone has a little bit of all of them.
Yeah, there's definitely a lot of compromise involved. And I think also there's like identifying that there's both the give and receive aspect of love languages. A lot of time people just consider love languages like a one thing, but I would say some people they like to give gifts, but they don't necessarily care about receiving gifts.
Yeah.
So maybe there's that sort of disconnect as well, where like
that's true.
There's like the give and the give and the receive.
Yeah.
Push and the pull.
Yeah. And it's interesting because normally like these personality tests and like whatnot are usually a bunch of mumbo jumbo, and they just generalize to the point where anyone could fit anything. But I think this is actually pretty accurate. Yeah. Pretty interesting stuff. Look at this bumpy road.
There's a lot of micro potholes here.
Yeah, Barry keeps saying minor. That's what he keeps saying. He keeps saying minor pothole.
Yeah.
Major pothole.
Yeah, sometimes there's a major pothole.
Yeah, that stream we drove through, that was a major pothole.
And it's just like, you feel like the car is just about to like stop working because there's just like, it's going up and down.
Yeah, I'm very curious. I would love to see what the underneath part of the car looks like right now.
Yeah.
Because like, this guy Barry's driving so fast. I just want to emphasize that when I drove up to the trailhead initially, I was going like 20. Barry's at 37 right now. I was very careful.
Yeah, it's interesting. Normally, like on regular driving, like on regular streets, I'm the slow one and Sam's the fast one. But when it comes to
it's reverse.
Yeah, it's reversed whenever we're in national parks with the bumpy roads.
Not even just national parks, just any road that's like this.
Yeah. It's kind of pretty. How would you rank this versus the other California national parks in terms of like prettiness?
You know, it does kind of look like Sequoia and Kings Canyon. I feel like those three in Redwood National Park kind of just like blend.
They're just trees.
There's just a bunch of big trees. Like, these are redwoods. Before it was sequoias. Like, okay, they both look the same. Yeah. And I remember when we were in New Zealand, we went to a park, like a park there that had redwood trees. And the guy at the front was like, "Oh, where are you from?" And we said California. He was like, "The only other place in the world that has redwood trees." And I was like, "What?" And he was like, Redwood National Park?
He was so disappointed in us. Because we didn't know what redwoods were.
He was like...
It's like, how do you not know?
He was like, are you the special one? So yeah, apparently this is a big deal, okay? Only place besides New Zealand in the world that has these trees. And you can see one right there.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of cool stuff out here.
Definitely.
We've arrived at hike number 2 of... Or actually 3 if you count yesterday.
Yeah, we've done... this is going to be our 3rd hike in the park.
Wait, another fun fact before we wrap up, though. Fern Canyon, one of the most famous hikes in Redwood National Park, I mean. Actually, Jurassic Park 2 was filmed here. In that Fern Canyon trail.
I definitely believed it because it was like straight up jungle.
Out of the world.
It was like jungle.
It was very interesting. Yeah.
Definitely felt it.
Yeah.
Cool.
Anyways, thanks for joining.
Thanks for joining. That's Redwood National Park. Another national park checked off on the list. Thanks as always. We'll see you on the next episode. Peace and love as always.